All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Here we go. Okay, 180. Take both of them.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Second down, McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Let's go.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
What's up? 59, what's up? 59, what's up?
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Watson on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll run it here. This is DEATHB4DIZHONOR2's. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Eluding the pressure right. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dagger. Reset.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Underneath for Miller. Fighting through, he's got space. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come back.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Buying time to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Dagger. Come back.
3rd and 2, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
These two. Snickers, 66. Whoa!
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And this is Moncrief for the catch. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete here on third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player. Right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Watson off play action. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Watson going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before the break. Watson, he's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. So plenty of action. We now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Watson going to give this one to Miller, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
There have been stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And the pitch goes to Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Here's Watson now on second down. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that. But I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Reset.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. That's to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. On first down, it's Watson. And his throw is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Off of play action, it's Watson. His throw is going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's McCaffrey. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Jackson. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Rolling to his right. And some room to maneuver. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Come back!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans are in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he lost the football. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Snickers, 66.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Evades him at the 20. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a handoff to Miller. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Corey Liggett makes the stop. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Being chased out left. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Looking for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass and want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
And he will be stopped here for no gain, and then it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston, and with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Watson now to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
The Texans on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. The Texans on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6.
Richmond.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And down inside the 15 he goes. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here's a give to Miller. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Down to 7 seconds now, 6.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.